Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another version of the Sside Mavericks Coaches Show with Coach Jeff Williams. Coach, good to see you.
Good to see you, Don.
Coach, big game this week, and we're in the home stretch right now. The last three games are very important, actually, for all four teams that are involved with that. Two people aren't going to go to the playoffs because of what happens in the next 3 weeks.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's sitting there. We got 2 games left, and a lot of people, we're with the guys trying to get in. It's like this all over the state, but there's going to be some scenarios that could go down to points. And one thing we focused on, if we take care of business the next 2 weeks, we know that we're in, and we want to be able to control what we can control, and let everybody else do what they need to do themselves. But we're playing pretty good football right now. Had a great game this past Friday, and really proud of our guys. Very explosive, got after it, and our kids are excited about this down stretch. And we got to go on the road, then we're back at home. So we got to be ready to go. But there's all kinds of different scenarios. Cabot's kind of in that deal where Central beat them. If they lose out, then they could be out. Northside could be out, Central could be out, and Catholic and Southside. So I mean, there's 4 or 5 teams in there really trying to pony up and get in position. And but the way you solve that is win football games over the next 2 weeks.
Coach, I've been watching Southside football for a long time. I'm not sure I've ever seen a Southside football game that had a half that was exciting as this one was. It was just bizarre almost.
It was, and our kids came out and they were ready to play. I mean, we were out of school that day. They were up here early, and you could just tell being around them how they were excited and looking forward to playing. And we came out offensively, and it was just, it was big play after big play, and Tate had an unbelievable game, and Jordan and the whole offense. I mean, everybody, even the running backs, Brennan and Ricardo and Tyrese and Mason and Dylan, and our whole offensive line did a fantastic job. And I've been doing this a long time, and we never put up numbers like that like we did Friday night. But that we earned it though. I mean, the guys executed really well, did what we were supposed to do, and we were going to put it on the money, caught the ball, took care of the ball, ran the ball well, and blocked up front well, and it was a great team, great effort.
A lot of resilience in this game. We've talked about that throughout the season, that these kids just don't get their dauber down. As you spoke about, and we'll talk about throughout the show, lots and lots of big plays, but lots of big plays on 3rd down and also on 4th down a couple of times. Let's get started on the first series. We lose the toss and receive the opening kickoff. They kick it out of the end zone. Their kicker was incredible, Bigfoot. We take over the 20-yard line. We're sitting at 3rd down and 10, and we haven't done anything with the first 2 plays. All of a sudden, we go 57 yards to Jordan Jackson down the Little Rock Central 23-yard line.
Yeah, it was big. They came out in something that's kind of been the telltale sign the last couple of weeks. And, we spend hours and hours of watching film and came out in something they hadn't shown all year. And usually when that happens, you have to get over there on the sideline for the first series, get it fixed, and this is what they're doing and what we need to do. And luckily, coverage-wise, we caught them, and the kind of play that we put in this week we hadn't shown either. And Jordan caught it and made an outstanding catch, and we're getting on the board.
Well, we're at their 23-yard line, and kind of like in the first part of this series, we go 3 downs and we don't move it an inch. We're 4th and 10, Coach, and all of a sudden we come out and throw a 23-yard touchdown pass to Tyrese, and we've taken a 7-0 lead quickly.
Yeah, and things were open. We, like I said, we were still, we knew as coaches what was going on, but you got to, teach the players and relay them. But got some one-on-one coverage in some situations, and then they played the zone. Tyrese got in the middle of it and made a great catch, and Tate was right on the money, and we're up 7-0. And, we know how explosive Sammy Johnson is on their sideline, so we felt like we had to score at every possession.
Well, after we score at 7-0, the wrinkles in the kicking game continue to show themselves. We sky kick, one of the most unusual kicks I've ever seen, Coach. That thing goes straight up, straight down, and we were sitting in the press box, and I said, that's going to go out of bounds. And that ball hit about 2 feet inside and checked up like it hit it with a sand wedge and stopped, and we recovered that.
Yeah, there was a huge wind the other night. Before the game, I was kind of off guard. I knew it was supposed to rain, Saturday, but I wasn't expecting that to come in. And the wind always blows a little bit in Jim Rohn Stadium, but it was really blowing, and we were against the wind, so we knew we couldn't kick in the end zone, so we're going to spread it around. Plus, you got probably the best return guy in the state back there, so we're going to move it around. Connor's done a really good job with all our kicks, and like you said, it went up there, and I think the wind, just pushed it right back down, and it rolled right to us. And so here we are. We scored. Now we can really jump ahead of them possession-wise, and it was a big play in our kicking game.
We recover that kick on the 24-yard line. First play out of that, we get a sack. We don't do anything on the next two plays, and here we are again at third down and 16. Boom, 30-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Jackson.
Yeah, and we felt, I'm sitting over there, and we get the ball, and we get sacked, and we can't go backwards, and it's going to be a third or fourth down. We're going to go for it on fourth down, that situation. And then it's third and 16. He gets open and makes a great catch, and Tate put it on the money. And, with just those explosive plays, when you can throw it and catch it like we do, no matter what the down and distance is, you still got a chance.
Well, we're up 14-0, Coach. We sky kick again to our 42-yard line. First play, 42-yard run for those guys. We missed two tackles in the backfield, and they scoot around the left edge and score.
Yeah, and he's explosive, and that's what we're talking about possessions-wise. Is we talked about that all week. Get 11 guys to the ball to get them on the ground, and you miss a tackle on the guy to go the distance. I mean, we saw it the year before when he was sophomore, but we missed two tackles in the backfield, and there he goes. And I don't know if that was just open game jitters or what, but I thought in the first half we didn't tackle real good. And I thought in the second half we did. And, a lot of times you got to get adjusted to the speed of the game when you're dealing with a guy like Sammy Johnson.
Well, they've scored from 42 yards out. The outstanding kicker that they have hit the goal post on the PAT attempt. Coach, he hit that goal post so hard that post was shaking a minute and a half after he hit it.
There's no doubt. And you talked about this on this show last week. What a weapon, what a strong leg this young man had. Kicked a 55-yard field goal against Bryant. Seen him on social media kick a 65-yard field goal. And I tell you what, he's got a chance to go to the next level and be really good. And hopefully somebody in state to one of the colleges get him, because he's going to be a great kicker. But he kicked the goalpost, so he's going to knock it down.
I think there was a penalty before he kicked the PAT,
Yep.
Coach, and I think he kicked it out of the stadium.
Yeah, he did. Kicked it completely out of the stadium. I think it hit ABF over there.
Well, it was a big one.
Yeah.
It was a big one. So we were up 14-0. All of a sudden, one play, they score. We're up 14-6. They kick off to us. We go 3 and out.
Yeah, and that's concerning. We got to be able to answer and score on every possession, and they come back. We got things fixed off the first two series. And they get us in a lost charge play. They get us in some situations there, and we didn't execute very good. And now we got to kick off to them, and we're kicking it into the wind. And so that's they're going to get good field position.
Well, we down the ball at the south side 45-yard line. They go 6 plays, 45 yards, go in on a 4-yard TD run, and we go from 14-0 to 14-13 in about 7 plays.
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, there's quick strike offense also, and they're back in it, but we knew it was going to be back and forth like that all night.
They kick off back to us. The big leg kid kicks it out of the back of the end zone again. We're out to the 20-yard line. Do nothing on first. Do nothing on second down. We're sitting at third down and 10. 81-yard pass to Jordan Jackson.
Yep, we got him on a post pattern there, and first 2 downs. And that's one thing I went over after this series, talked to the offenses. We were getting some penalties, motion penalties on 1st and 10. We were getting a sack or lost charge play, and we had to do a better job on first down. But Jordan bailed us out of it, and we had pretty good protection. Hit him on a post and on the run, and not many people going to catch him.
Jordan gets knocked out at the 4-yard line. Tate goes over from the 4-yard line for the touchdown. We've gone 4 plays and 85 yards. It's 21-13, and we're about 2/3 of the way through the first quarter.
Yeah, we're scoring back and forth.
Yep. We sky kick to Catholic, Coach. They catch it at the 28-yard line. Defense holds. We go 3 and out. Catholic punts to us, a 58-yard punt down to the 1-yard line. From our 1-yard line, we sputter early again. We get a first down. We have a couple penalties. We're backed up at the 7-yard line, and it's third down again. Pass out into the right flat to Tyrese around the 10-yard. He makes 2 guys miss and goes 93 yards down the sideline for the touchdown.
Yeah, we came out and we try to, hard count. That's what you usually do when you're backed up, because you jump off sides. It's not going back very much further. We try to get out of the hole, and we jumped off sides, and then got it out, got a first down, which that's the #1 goal when you're backed up in that situation. Then, like you said, to hit Tyrese in the flat, he made a couple of guys miss, and he's done that quite a bit this year. Just little 5-yard out flat routes and catches it, and guy misses, and you get him man coverage or somebody, everybody else is guarding somebody, and he took off, and like I said, him and Jordan can catch the ball, and there's not many people that are going to catch him, and he's done a great job. Him and Jordan, all our receivers have done a great job all year with run after the catch.
We missed the PAT, Coach. You have a bad snap, one of two bad snaps during the game on the PAT, and we're up 27-13. The first quarter ends at that score. We kick off to Catholic. They come back to the 37-yard line. Defense makes them work very hard, but they go 10 plays, 63 yards, and score on a 2-TD run. And after our 93-yard play, they came back, put a big drive together, and we're sitting at 27-20.
Yeah, and I think this next drive was the key drive of the game. We got the ball back with 1 minute to go. We got 3 timeouts. We're no huddle anyway, and we practiced that situation quite a bit, and our guys just did a phenomenal job in responding.
Coach, they kick off to us, return the ball to the 41-yard line. We go 4 plays and throw an interception on 3rd and 10, and they return it to the south side 47-yard line. Defense gets out there, holds. They punt it down to the 9-yard line for us.
Yeah, defensively, it seemed like we got stops when we didn't score, or got a turnover, and so we played well together, and that, it's kind of like, guys, we got to step it up here, and our guys defense really responded.
We're sitting at our own 9-yard line. It's late in the first half. First play from scrimmage is 24-yard pass to Tyrese. Ricardo goes for 22 yards. We have a 21-yard pass to Tyrese again, and then we throw a 27-yard touchdown pass to Tyrese.
Yeah, it was good, mixed it up. Ricardo kind of got going once we got some things fixed on him and Brennan both did, and once we got some things fixed, about their front, what they were doing, and mixed it up quite a bit. And Coach Key was, trying to run a little clock a little bit here and there, but we were pretty explosive, and Tyrese comes up with another big play for us.
So, Coach, after the touchdown, have another bad snap on the PAT, and we're up 34-20, still middle of the second quarter. We kick off to Catholic. It's a touchback, rather. They bring it out the 20-yard line. They go 9 plays and 80 yards on a 15-yard TD run and score on us.
Yeah, they're just a methodical drive. I kind of thought, after a while, and Coach Fogelman, that's why we were trying to get ahead of them a couple scores, is because, I felt like he was going to get it and just, stay in some tight sets and run the ball, take time off the clock, keep our offense off the field. And because they've got 2 big bruising backs, and it was just kind of methodical drive all the way down, and they punched it in.
After they score, it's 34-26. We have a big PAT block by Jalen Coleman. Coach, so far in this game, we've had 2 bad snaps for us, a block on the extra point by them, and one that clanked off the goalpost. We're sitting in the press box going, this thing could come down to kicking.
You weren't the only one thinking about that in the stadium. Is it's kind of, as a coach, sometimes you miss those extra points and things, or, you're used to, everything's 7 points or here or there, and keeping up with, we need to go for 2 this time, it's just time to do it or not, and we just, those critical areas, but, on our part, and then, of course, they missed extra point, then Jalen comes up, which we've talked about all week and really worked on. He's been close all year long, and come up with a huge block. So now we're kind of even where we need to be in that part of it. So that was a huge block, and Jalen's really done a great job all year, and he makes some, had some big plays in the second half.
After the touchdown and the block PAT, the score is 34-26. Catholic kicks off to us. We're out to the 22-yard line. First play was a 17-yard pass play. And then from our 37-yard line, the next play is a 45-yard pass to Dylan Wyatt, which was a huge play to get us into their territory.
It was, and like I said earlier, I thought this drive was just huge going into, to put some pressure on Catholic. And we ran the drill 1 minute, had 3 timeouts. And Coach Tiffy put that play in, said just a little flood route that everybody in America runs, and put a little post on it, sprint it out. And it's kind of funny with that play is there's always a guy going deep, and it's usually on a fade, and we posted him. and the kids, because we play so much 7-on-7, everybody in America runs the play, so everybody usually jumps that flood, the flood part of it, and it got, we set it up and we put it in, and it didn't look great in practice all week, but we felt like it'd be there. And Tate pulled up and we got a great block. Brendan Ulrich, the guy came underneath off the defensive end, and we got him outside the pocket, and he stopped and let it go, and Dylan came up with a big catch.
He did. After Dylan's tackle, we're sitting at their 19-yard line. Very first play after that, Coach, 19-yard TD pass to Jordan Jackson.
Yeah, called all stops, and then Jordan converted it, and he was running wide open, and it was a great throw and catch. But we were just, sometimes it's kind of like a baseball pitcher, when they're playing, you just can't hit them. And we were like that offensively. We were just really clicking and executing really well.
We go for the 2-point conversion. We fail that again. The kicking game, the conversion game is turned into a bugaboo for both teams. We're up 40-26. We kick off to them. They go back to 20 yards, run a couple of plays, and it's halftime, Coach. We're sitting at 40-26 at the half. Tate has had a huge first half. He's thrown for 442 yards and 5 touchdowns, and he's rushed for a touchdown in the first half.
Yeah, I looked up the stats going in. I come check it every now and then on the scoreboard, and Eddie Norman, they do a great job with that. And looked up there in the first quarter, he threw 311 yards. I was going, holy cow, people don't need to do this in a whole game. I mean, they consider that a great game, And I knew we had a lot of yards and that part of it, but it's just, I've never coached in one. I've coached in some 55 to 52 games and some wild ones earlier in my career, but our execution offensively in the first half was pretty flawless, besides some penalties that we needed to get taken care of. And defensively, we could get a turnover. We got to get some things fixed. Got confused on a couple of things, didn't get lined up correctly, didn't think we tackled particularly well. And so we got to go in there and get that fixed.
We're sitting 40-26. You're up by 14 points. You put up 40 points in the first half. You're up by 14 points. Your offense has put up an unbelievable amount of yards. The defense has given up one big play early in the game to score a touchdown. Other than that, Catholic's had to earn every single point that they've got. You just can't feel comfortable. What do you talk about at halftime?
Well, I go in, the main thing was, offensively, there's, what's working, and we had to get some stuff in the run game a little bit. We had to work that. And I went and talked to them about, hey, look, we got to do a better job on first down. We're getting in these third and longs, and, our goal always make at least 4 yards on first down. And they talked about, hey, we got some runs in here. We're going to probably mix it up a little bit more in the second half, run a little clock, but we got to go score every possession. And defensively, we just go in with some things about, hey, we got to get lined up correctly. They were shift some guys, and we got all over the place, and that's a concentration thing, not communicating very good, and got to tackle, and just like you went, hey, we've done a good job on Sammy. He's busted one long one, and to make them earn, and people in high school football, it's hard to go 80 yards and 10, 12 plays without screwing up, and that was our number one focus. Get a couple of turnovers, let's tackle better and get lined up and put ourselves in position.
Coach, 40-26 at the half. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a few moments to talk about the second half. Coach, time to start the second half. You're up 40-26. Catholic has won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so they're getting the ball. We kick off to those guys. They return it to the 38-yard line and put together a 14-play, 51-yard drive that ends up in a 28-yard field goal.
Yeah, we did. It came out. We took the win to try to kick it and pin them back, and that didn't really work. But they, 14 plays, they get a field goal. So I told our offensive guys that, if we score every possession, we're going to win, and we're holding them to field goals, and we're scoring touchdowns, and that's what we want to do.
40-29 at this time, Coach. They kick off to us. We go 10 plays, 8 straight runs. We've been throwing the ball over the top a lot. 8 straight runs. Are we trying to run a little clock off because this game?
We're trying to run a little clock off, and we found some stuff we liked, in the first half run-wise, because like I said, they come out, something totally different. And, we were execute it pretty good, but felt like we had some of that and wanted to mix some of that in. But we still got to score. I mean, that's the key component, and maybe give our defense a little rest in that part of it. But just to mix it up a little bit. They're thinking pass, and let's go back and we've got control of the game. Let's run the ball a little bit.
Well, we take that 10 plays, we run 10 plays on that, and 8 of them are runs, and all of a sudden it bogs down. We turn over the ball on downs at the 25-yard line, at their 25-yard line. Defense comes out on the field, stops them. They go 3 and out. We fair catch their punt at the Mav 42-yard line.
And 2 things right there. Once again, we stalled out on a drive, and we got to mix it up a little bit here and there. But when we stalled out, our defense always came up with a stop. It seemed like, and that's playing well together. And I got to give them, make them punt. And Jalen Coleman did an outstanding job. Him and Mason being back there, as windy as it is, and I'm gonna tell you something, folks. It is the hardest thing to do in football is to catch a punt. Now, it's it's unnatural. There's 11 guys running right at you, and you're looking up and down. You got to catch it, and then especially adding the wind on the way it moves. And Jalen did an outstanding job of catching that punt and saving his field position.
Well, we go from trying to grind it out, and all of a sudden we're sitting at their 42-yard line, 1 play, 58-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Jackson.
Yeah, we came out and felt like we ran it a little play action right there, and because the other part with the wind, we're fixing to have to switch over going into the fourth quarter with the wind, and we wanted to take advantage of it and drop back a little play action and hit it.
We're up 47-20, Coach. You got to be feeling a little better about it, but you're not out of it yet. Not out of it yet. We kick off to Catholic. They take it out to the 26-yard line. They move the ball a little bit on the 3rd play. There's an interception by Hebron Ulrich, and he returns that down to the 9-yard line.
Big play. Well, got another turnover, and Hebron's a senior. He's put his time in, played a lot of football for us, and ended up being, I think, the radio group's defensive player of the game. And that was a huge play for us and really turned momentum.
We're sitting at their 9, Coach. First play, 9-yard TD pass to Hebron's brother, Brendan Ulrich.
Yeah, Brendan's, they're twins, and they've been here 3 years, and I still can't tell them apart. And unless they got their jerseys on, and Brendan's done a great job for us at running back. Him and Ricardo have been a great 1-2 punch, and one thing about him and Ricardo both, Brendan, they can catch the ball out of the backfield. And Brendan was a receiver for us last year, and he's kind of a utility guy, where you can put him out there and flex him out, play receiver, he can run the ball, and he's really stepped up for us this year.
That's a big deal for us, Coach. And, we've got great outside guys, and if you follow our outside guys or chase our outside guys, our 2 running backs slip out in the flat, slip over underneath the bottom of the coverage, catch the ball really well, and can make you miss too.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting one of your better players the ball in space, and Ricardo's done a great job working on his hands. Obviously, Brendan was a receiver, so when you play us, you're going to have to guard 5 people. I mean, that's everybody can do something.
Well, it's 53-29, Coach. We sky kick, and they return it to the 31-yard line. Coach, so far we've onside kick, pooch kick, sky kick, squib kick all night long. What are you thinking there?
Well, the big thing about that is, I hate playing people that do that because, everybody, what do you do? Practice all summer for that beautiful long kick right there, and, everybody catches it and builds their wall or, gets their man and you hit it up the pipe and all. When you start spraying it around, it screws their whole return up. That's off. And then the other part of it is you got to be conscious of who you put out there, that they got to be able to catch it. And a lot of it factored in the other night was with the wind. I mean, obviously when you don't have the wind that's going against you, kicking it deep and, it's kind of difficult, but you can pooch it and the ball gets in there and gets all that wind and crazy things can happen with it. But Connor's done a great job. Got to give Coach West, our special teams coach, really does a great job each week of scheming things up on where he wants to kick it. He's brought a new system in this year so we can kick it on anywhere at any time. And Connor's done a great job, and our kick coverage has been really good all year.
Coach, they take over at the 31-yard line. They get a couple of first downs. They have a big running back, number 34, a name that I struggled saying all night long, so I'm not going to try it right now, but he was a bull. Their 3rd play, they're at their 48-yard line, and they break loose, and he's down at our 34-yard line, and somebody knocks that ball loose, and Martez Gaston recovers it at Southside 10.
I believe Martez was the one that knocked it loose too. Is he breaks a long run? It's about playing hard. That's something. You got to learn defensively. You got to get them on the ground, and even if they get a big play, it will make them snap it again, because you never know what's going to happen. And Martez showed a lot of effort running to the ball, strips it, and recovers it, and so we got another turnover. So that's just like another stop, and got to give our defensive guys a lot of credit, hustling to the ball. And the balls were on the ground the other night. We came up with them.
We started our 10-yard after the recovery. 10-yard line rather after the recovery. We go 3 and out there, Coach, and we punt back to the Southside 47-yard line. Catholic takes over there. They're driving. They go 6 plays to the 20-yard line, and they've got a first down. Go back to pass, and off the left edge, we could see him up in the press booth. No one touched Jalen Coleman before he came out and stripped him, and then causes that fumble that was recovered by Cam Belcher.
Yeah, it was a great call by our defensive staff. We brought a corner off the edge, which, as a former offensive line coach, you don't practice protecting that too much. And he came in, had a big hit and strip sack, and then Cam come up with another fumble, and feels like, hey, we're getting this game under control now. It looks like we're going to go on for a victory. But great play by Jalen.
Great play. God never saw him coming. Well, Coach, we take over on our own 26-yard line. We start taking some time off the clock. We go 9 plays to the Catholic 40-yard line, eat a bunch of clock, and then we throw an INT late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, just kind of we converted a route. Everybody was doing what they're supposed to do, and just kind of got caught inside instead of getting the receiver staying outside. And when he came inside, it gave the safety time to come over the top and make a play. And it's just something we got to do a better job of executing wise.
We have the ball. Catholic goes 3 and out. They punt. Southside gets the ball back, runs out the clock, Coach. We got 3 games, and we've got the first one in the pot there. We win 53-29.
Yeah, outstanding effort by our guys. We needed that win. It was a big win for us, and our guys really came out and played extremely well. And we're excited. We got 1 down. We got 2 to go, and our focus is all on Little Rock Central. We got to go on the road to Central, who has played really well all year at home, and they've been scoring a lot of points, and they've played everybody really tough, but we got to go on the road, and we've played pretty good on the road also, so it's a big game for both teams, just what we talked about earlier during the show.
We score 53, we give up 29. 29's a decent point total give up. The defense, Coach, had 4 turnovers.
Yeah, I thought really in the second half, we really came out and played a lot better. First half we had some mental errors in tackle well, and then second half we got it fixed, and the guys flew around a little bit, and when the points that they scored, they earned every one of them, like you talked about. And you got to give Catholic credit to them, and they're a good offensive team. They scored points on everybody. Like I told you last week, I think Coach Fogelman does as good a job of calling plays and running offense as anybody in our conference. And I thought the defense really stepped up, got some key turnovers that really changed that ball game.
They did a great job. There was a lot of bend but not break in there. I just think that their 4 turnovers, if they score on some of those, this could be a different ball game.
Yeah.
Coach, offensively, again, I've watched Southside football for a long time. I've never seen anything like it. Tate throws for a school record 558 yards and 6 touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown. Jordan Jackson had 6 catches for 266 yards. That's got to be close to a school record, and he scored 3 touchdowns. Tyrese catches 7 for 184 yards. Dylan White comes in, catches that big one that we talked about earlier in the show, catches 4 for 74 yards. I mean, holy cow.
Yeah, they spread the ball around, got a lot of weapons, and like I said, that was a great offensive, played game, and like I said, you got to give our coaches credit, with their offensive staff, having them ready, had a good plan going into it, and kids really bought in this week and had a good week of practice and preparation. They knew what was at stake, and when you're doing that as an offensive coach, it's a lot of fun. The kids are having a lot of fun, and you're scoring a lot of points, and it's fun to watch. I mean, now sometimes being the head coach over there, you do get a little bit nervous about it, on the other team scoring too, but we've done a really good job, and we're excited about this week going into the Little Rock Central game.
Coach, how we doing injuries this week?
We're healthy. Really, that's knock on wood. We've been very fortunate. Good Lord's taken care of us, and we're as healthy as we've been all year.
Let's talk about the playoffs. We've got 2 games left, both against teams that everybody has to win or somebody is staying home. We're going to go see Coach Scooter Register, someone that you've worked for and has been a great friend of yours for a long time, down at Central next week. Central lost to Conway last week, 45-3, and then Northside lost to North Little Rock, 49-23. If we win one of the next 2, are we going to make the playoffs, Coach?
Well, there's no guarantee of that, because everybody right now, you're looking at Northside has 1 win. We got to play those guys. You look at Central's got 1 win. We're going to play them this week. Catholic's got 1 win, and they got to play Central week 10, and then Cabot's got 1 win, I believe, also, or 2. They got 2 wins, and they've got to play Northside and North Little Rock. So Northside upset Cabot, and there's 100 different scenarios, and so the main focus for us is just to keep the team that keeps winning games are the teams that are going to get in, and we're kind of good with they take your points to the first 13 win by 13 or more, and right now with our 1 win we got our 13 points. Catholic sitting where they had just won by 3. Northside has their 13 points, and Central won't beat Cabot, and they only won by 2. So point-wise, we're in pretty good shape. But I think you got to win to get in. That's why I always thought it. That's why you play the game, and when our guys understand that, and the more games we can win, the better seed that we can have, and maybe host a playoff game. That's in the that can happen, and we really want that to happen for our seniors. Get to go out there, get another home game, and for them. And but our focus will be on Little Rock Central. We're not worried about what everybody else is doing, and be focused in. And I know our guys will be, and we'll get a good plan together and get on the bus like we've done all year. It seems like, and either Chick-fil-A and go down to Quigley Stadium and see what happens.
Good news is, Coach, we hold our fate in our hands, don't we?
Yeah, we do, and that's the whole key. You don't want to be waiting. If this team wins or that team wins, you want to be able to win and get in. And so we've earned where we're at right now, and we're going to earn it to get into playoffs.
Well, we're excited about it, Coach. There's a lot of good stuff happened Friday night. There was something good that happened for you on Friday night. And we have some gentlemen behind you that are here to celebrate that with you, Coach.
Congratulate your 100th
Oh, my gosh. Thank you, guys.
Glad we could be a part of it.
Appreciate it. Oh, that means a lot. I tell you what, Don, these guys are just great kids, and I appreciate this. There's no other team, and I've had a lot of great teams and been around a lot of great kids, but for winning your 100th game with this bunch means the world to me.
I know that you've spoken well about them all year, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, Coach, congratulations on the big win. Congratulations on your 100th win. We're looking forward to another great show next week and another big Maverick win.
Well, we're looking forward to it too, Don. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week at the Southside Mavericks Coaches Show.